You can see Montgomery Plaza from blocks away. The twin white towers, stitched together by a single steel skybridge and crowned with red neon that beams Montgomery Plaza over Fort Worth's West 7th Corridor. Today, it looks like a confident piece of urban luxury. Condos, cafes, but its bones tell a far more intriguing story. This building started life as one colossal warehouse, survived a killer flood, weathered bankruptcy, got ripped in half by developers who couldn't find a bank crazy enough to fund them, and still ended up the anchor of an entire entertainment district. Buckle up, this video story is barely enough in length to cover the drama. It begins in 1928, when Chicago-based Montgomery Ward decided Cowtown would be its southwestern mail-order hub. Rail lines wrapped Fort Worth like a spider web. Livestock money poured in from the stockyards, and the company wanted a 1 million square foot Colossus capable of shipping cowboy boots to Amarillo on Monday and lawnmowers to Shreveport by Friday. Architects Sheffield and Anderson sketched an 8-story fortress, Spanish Revival up front with red tile accents and 30-foot arches, pure industrial muscle inside. Locals christened it the Big Ward. 3,000 workers stuffed 35,000 packages a day into rail cars that slid right into the ground floor. During the Depression, the warehouse's paychecks kept West Side grocery stores alive. During World War II, it shipped uniforms, ration kits, and half the hardware the Southwest needed to keep moving. For 2 decades, those arched docks were Fort Worth's busiest gateway. Then came May 1949. Weeks of rain pushed the Trinity River over its levees, drowning everything north of Lancaster. Water surged through the loading bays, fluted crates like driftwood, soaked elevators and conveyor belts, while maintenance men ran borrowed Navy pumps all night. When the water finally retreated, the Big Ward stood battered but unbowed. Proof that concrete, rivets, and stubbornness could outmuscle the Trinity. But retail empires can't fight time. Suburban malls sprouted bright new parking lots in the 1950s, siphoning shoppers away from catalog warehouses. Montgomery Ward tried a facelift, fluorescent lighting, a new logo, ad jingles promising Monkey Ward's has it, but the mail-order beast was losing to discount chains. By the 1990s, the West 7th warehouse held more pigeons than packages. Then, nature took another swipe. On March 28, 2000, an F3 tornado ripped through downtown Fort Worth, shattered thousands of warehouse windows, and left every floor littered with glass. Insurance paid for plywood, not resurrection. A few months later, Ward filed for Chapter 11. On a cold January afternoon in 2001, the final pallet rolled down the shipping tunnel. The freight doors slid shut, and the lights went dark. For 3 years, the Silent Hulk dominated a suddenly fashionable corridor. Restaurants and bars opened in surrounding buildings. But this 1 million square foot block sat empty and intimidating. 4 major banks sent inspectors, ran numbers, and all walked away. Functionally obsolete, they wrote. Too much asbestos, too many leaking elevators, and no one wanted to bet on downtown condos in a Texas city still married to cul-de-sacs. Enter developer Terry Montesi of Trademark Property. He pitched lenders on a plan so crazy it sounded brilliant. saw a canyon straight through the middle of the building. Let daylight flood the core. Brace the two halves with a steel skybridge and market the resulting north and south towers as luxury lofts with 360-degree views. Every conventional bank replied with the same polite email, "No thanks." Montesi refused to blink. He scraped together a Frankenstein capital stack. Historic tax credit equity from an insurance consortium, mezzanine debt from a Chicago fund that usually financed casinos, and a bridge loan collateralized by his own ranch. In 2004, crews started jackhammering 1920s concrete so fiercely that dishes rattled in nearby bungalows. They sliced a 90-foot gap down the middle, hauled off 14,000 tons of debris, then slid a skybridge 3 stories up so the two newborn towers wouldn't drift apart like bookends on marbles. Preservationists wailed about the lost Central Bay. Investors pictured wine and cheese parties on glass balconies overlooking the Trinity Park treetops. Sales opened in 2006, and the public went feral. Prospective buyers camped overnight, lawn chairs and sweeping bags curling around the block just to reserve a 5th-floor loft overlooking the river. Yet with every condo came fresh soap opera. Rooftop HVAC units vibrated like diesel engines, sending owners to court over sleepless nights. A cloudburst in 2007 turned the subterranean garage into an indoor pool. Local news vans filmed Porsches bobbing bumper deep. When window leaks reappeared in 2008, the HOA erupted into such a shouting match over special assessments that the board hired off-duty deputies to keep peace at meetings. Still, by the time the financial crisis hit, 90% of Montgomery Plaza's units were sold. Restaurants filled the first floor, and West 7th had morphed into Fort Worth's densest bar district. The gamble, and that stitched-together financing no traditional bank wanted, paid off in neon dividends. Photographers now capture the Twin Towers at dusk. Skybridge glowing like a sci-fi portal. Crowds spilling onto patios beneath the arches where freight trains once idled. Present day, Montgomery Plaza is a study in paradox. Loft prices crest $600 a square foot, yet turnover stays brisk because young professionals crave the walkability. West 7th chokes with Ubers every weekend, prompting talk of a streetcar loop that would stop right in the plaza's courtyard. And the building itself, still a centenarian skeleton beneath the stucco, demands constant TLC. Engineers monitor hairline cracks in the original columns. The HOA quietly budgets for a future window replacement project measured in the millions. Residents love the views, but keep one wary eye on insurance deductibles whenever hill clouds roll over Tarrant County. What about tomorrow? Several futures are floating. Architects have drawn a second skybridge higher up, turning the north-south hallway loop into a figure 8 for better circulation. A proposed streetcar could connect Montgomery Plaza to downtown and the stockyards by 2030, easing parking gridlock and bumping property values. The condo board is studying green roof conversions, cover the flat caps with solar panels and native grasses to shave 20% off cooling bills. And whispered after happy hour is an even bolder idea. Add 2 lightweight residential floors on top. The original structure was so over-engineered for catalog merchandise that it could probably handle the extra load. if the FAA signs off on height limits from nearby Meacham Field, and if the board can stomach another assessment war. Whatever happens, Montgomery Plaza isn't just real estate. It's Fort Worth's crown jewel case study in reinvention. A mail-order cathedral that survived a flood, weathered a tornado, went bankrupt, got sliced in half, and still ended up the beating heart of an entertainment district. Those red neon letters blaze on. The skybridge hums with footsteps, and somewhere beneath the parking garage, a few rusted rails remain embedded in concrete, reminding every resident and reveler that this block has always been about movement. Packages, trains, people, capital. The city builds, breaks, and rebuilds when the winds of change blow down West 7th. And Montgomery Plaza stands as proof that even a 1928 warehouse can outrun obsolescence with enough dynamite, grit, and audacity. If you enjoyed this deep dive, tap like and follow the page so you don't miss the next story. And if you'd like to keep these films rolling, you can subscribe on Facebook for just $1 a month. That single buck helps cover research runs, camera batteries, and every late-night edit session. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.